Hey guys, EJ Insider from Sunbros, and today I am excited to be bringing you guys another hero quick look video. We're going to be talking about Fennik. Fennik is a class marksman, roll, mobility, and finisher. As you guys can see on the bottom left, pretty low constitution, above average attack damage and difficulty, and right about average ability damage. Fennik's passive is hidden weapons. When a normal attack hits an enemy, the projectile explodes, dealing AoE damage. And also, Fennik has a slightly longer range than any normal marksman with positioning abilities. Ability number 1 is Thief's Mark. Fennik increases his attack speed and places a mark on the enemy or building. The mark explodes around the target after 4 seconds, dealing a bunch of damage. Each auto attack also puts another mark on the enemy, and if it reaches 4 full marks, then it'll explode immediately. Fennik's second ability is called Rolling Lightning. Fennik rolls forward in a straight line, dealing damage and slowing enemy movement speed. Additionally, a trace of lightning is left on the path, dealing damage to enemies that walk in it or stay in it every 0.25 seconds. And last but not least is Fennik's ultimate, Chain Hammer Cyclone. Fennik throws a flail to create a thunder cyclone that lasts for 6 seconds, reducing enemy movement speed, as well as dealing damage to every enemy in it every half second. Alright guys, next we're going to be moving on to the pros and cons of Fennik, starting with the pros, which are his strengths, the things you're going to want to focus as if you're playing as him, and the things you're going to want to avoid if you're playing against him. Fennik's first pro is that Fennik is a tower wrecker. Not only does he have the advantage of being a marksman who deals lots of auto attack damage as it is, but also he gets the advantage of his first ability, Thief's Mark. It increases Fennik's attack speed and places a mark on an enemy or building, like a tower. The mark explodes around the target after 4 seconds, dealing a bunch of damage, and Fennik's normal attacks deal extra damage on marked targets, and the mark explodes immediately after reaching 4 stacks. So what we can gather from this is that actually each auto attack while a tower is marked deals additional damage to it, making it go down faster, and when you hit it 4 times, it does explode, and all that damage does get caused to the tower as well. So Fennik really doubles down on his damage via the extra damage to each attack, but then it blows up and does a crap ton of damage. Fennik can blow by towers in the blink of an eye. Fennik's second pro is that he has a huge buffed AoE auto attack, and that kind of piggybacks off of our first point of our first ability, Thief's Mark, in that each normal attack deals additional damage. On the flip side, his passive hidden weapons makes it so that each auto attack actually does damage to surrounding enemies and minions. Throw in the fact that after 4 consecutive hits on a marked target, it explodes, dealing damage to that target and everyone around him, and you guys can see that the auto attacks actually become very potent for Fennik. He deals a lot of not only single target damage, but AoE damage as well. The third and final pro for Fennik is that he has solid crowd control. Whether we're talking about his ultimate, Chain Hammer Cyclone, that reduces movement speed by 50% for people standing inside of the very, very large circled ability, or his second ability, Rolling Lightning, which again reduces movement speed by 50%. So while Fennik doesn't have any hard crowd control, he has 2 really solid slows that are big time difference makers and a little bit unusual for a marksman. Alright, now we're moving on to Fennik's cons. These are his weaknesses, things you're going to want to avoid if you're playing as him, things you're going to want to take advantage of or exploit if you're playing against him. His first con is that he has a very deep and difficult kit. Fennik is not your Yorn point and click and do damage hero, and he's definitely not your Valheim stun and point and click and do damage hero. He has a lot more to him than they do, with a really interesting toolkit. It starts from his first ability, Thief's Mark, which allows you to do additional damage on your auto attacks as well as create an AoE damage explosion that happens on people that you mark. Your roll, which is both very long range but also kind of slow to execute, and of course your ultimate, which can be used to clear lanes in the blink of an eye to help protect towers, or of course slow down an incoming enemy or stop an enemy who's trying to run away. Fennik's kit can be used in many different ways. Each of these abilities can serve multiple purposes, and that's what makes Fennik a very deep hero who can be played in a myriad of different ways, and these abilities can all be used in a bunch of different ways to either cover up mistakes or take advantage of advantageous situations. And a second con, of course, is that he is a marksman and therefore he is squishy. I would say that Fennik falls under the category of being team reliant because he can get out of position really easily trying to do his really potent damage, and with these abilities that are really big difference makers, he can easily find himself distracted or out of position because of these things, and positioning is vitally important, but so is a good team with a good front line. And his last and final con is that Fennik doesn't have really great burst. Even though when his first ability, Thief's Mark, does explode with 4 marks, it does a pretty good amount of damage. The reality is that it takes time to ramp up there. His auto attacks aren't going to be hitting like a Violet per se or like a Talanas. He actually has very low burst, but overall good damage. Alright guys, that is it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, please make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and of course check out our other content like our top 5 videos, our how to play series, and our Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday night live streams. Thanks for watching guys, and as always, until next time.